From the Hindu Kush to the Rockies, a journey from Kabul to Colorado in community-led transformation, a memoir of resilience, advocacy, and transformation by Humayun Milad. Episode 18, A Dream Realized. Pioneering the One Village One Product movement in Afghanistan and Tajikistan in 2009, I embarked on an academic journey that would shape my philosophy on regional development, economic empowerment, and community resilience. As a graduate student at Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University, APU, I delved into the intricate world of international cooperation policy, focusing specifically on regional development, an area that fascinated me for its transformative potential. My intellectual curiosity led me to explore localized economic models, particularly the One Village One Product, OVOP movement, a concept that would later define much of my professional work. For my final paper, I meticulously researched and submitted a study titled Exploring Local Potential Resources for Empowering Local Communities, where I examined the strategic utilization of indigenous resources, traditional craftsmanship, and local ingenuity as pillars for sustainable economic development. The setting of my studies was no ordinary place. Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University, nestled in the scenic city of Beppu, Oita Prefecture on Kyushu Island, Japan, was itself a microcosm of global innovation, boasting a diverse student body and an atmosphere of cross-cultural exchange. But what made my time at APU truly profound was its geographic proximity, just 53 miles away from Oyamamachi town, the historic birthplace of the One Village One Product movement. To be studying regional development while standing so close to the origins of OVOP was an experience that fused theory with reality, bridging my academic pursuits with tangible examples of grassroots transformation. Oyamamachi's legacy served as an intellectual beacon throughout my research. It was here that the philosophy of village-led economic revival was first introduced, proving that even the smallest communities could cultivate a signature product, perfect their craft, and elevate themselves to national and even global economic prominence. My time at APU allowed me to engage deeply with the policy mechanisms, cultural significance, and practical applications that had enabled this movement's remarkable success in Japan. As I examined case studies and historical evolutions of OVOP, I began to envision its potential beyond Japan's borders, particularly in developing economies facing governance and resource challenges. The question that preoccupied my mind was, could this model be adapted for conflict-affected communities? Could nations with fragmented governance structures and untapped local potential find economic revival through a similar process? This intellectual exploration was no fleeting academic pursuit. It became a vision, one that I would later bring to life in Afghanistan and Tajikistan, where I pioneered the application of the OVOP model to border communities facing economic hardship, political instability, and limited access to markets. My initial curiosity at APU would later transform into a practical framework for sustainable livelihoods, proving that localized development, when nurtured effectively, could transcend geographical and political boundaries. The seeds of my journey were planted in Beppu, where academic research met real-world impact. The knowledge I gained there did not remain confined to scholarly discourse, but instead evolved into a dynamic tool for empowerment, economic resilience, and cross-border collaboration. My time at APU was the beginning of a vision, one that would soon take root beyond the lecture halls, beyond Japan, and into the heart of communities striving for self-reliance and prosperity. One Village, One Product, OVOP. A model for local empowerment and economic transformation origins and philosophy. The One Village, One Product, OVOP, movement originated in Oita Prefecture, Japan, in 1979, under the leadership of Governor Morihiko Hiramatsu. The movement was founded on a simple yet powerful philosophy. Local communities should harness their unique resources, traditional skills, and cultural identity to create high-value products that could compete in national and global markets. Instead of relying on external aid or government subsidies, villages were encouraged to develop self-sustaining economies by focusing on a single, high-quality product that represented their strengths. The OVOP movement was not just an economic initiative, it was a social transformation, empowering communities to take ownership of their development and revitalize local industries. The model emphasized self-reliance, innovation, and community-driven entrepreneurship, proving that even small villages could thrive by leveraging their distinctive assets. Core principles of OVOP. The success of OVOP was built on three fundamental principles: local, yet global. While products were developed using local resources and traditional techniques, they were marketed with global competitiveness in mind, ensuring high quality and broad appeal. Self-reliance and creativity. Communities were encouraged to take initiative, innovate, and develop their own economic strategies, rather than depending on government intervention. Human resource development. OVOP was not just about producing goods. It was about educating and empowering local people, equipping them with the skills needed to sustain economic growth. These principles ensured that OVOP was not a short-term economic boost, but a long-term strategy for sustainable development. Implementation and expansion. The OVOP movement gained rapid traction in Japan, with villages across Oita Prefecture successfully developing over 300 unique products, ranging from shiitake mushrooms and kabosu citrus fruits to barley shochu and handcrafted textiles. The model's success soon attracted international attention, leading to its adoption in Thailand, China, Malaysia, Indonesia, the Philippines, and several African and Latin American countries. In Thailand, the government launched the One Tambon One Product (OTOP) initiative, adapting OVOP principles to local economic conditions. Similarly, in Africa, OVOP-inspired programs were introduced to promote rural entrepreneurship and agricultural development. The movement's adaptability proved that local economic empowerment could be achieved in diverse cultural and economic contexts. We'll continue this story in the next episode, so stay tuned.